Hello children, welcome to our class. Now continuation of units and measurements. In that we can see the supplementary SI units. The two supplementary SI units are plane angle. Next one is the solid angle. So now we can see what is plane angle. So the plane angle, which is defined as the d theta is the ratio of arc ds to the radius r. So its SI unit is radian. See the diagram, the angle d theta, which is equal to arc by radius, so that ds by r, d theta which is equal to ds by r. Next one is solid angle. So solid angle d ohm is the ratio of the intercepted area dA of the spherical surface described at the apex O, at the center, as the center, to the square of its radius r. Its SI unit is steradian. So see the diagram, and d ohm which is equal to dA by r square. So the next one is some of the following convention are adopted while writing a unit. So what are the rules which we have to adapt to write the symbolic forms, right? So the first one is, even if a unit is named after a person, the unit is not written in capital letter. That is, we write joules. It's not the capital joules, right? So capital letter we should not, right? So for a unit named after a person, the symbol is a capital letter for the joules, right? J. And the rest of them are a lowercase, right? See that example which they have given as a second is written as S, right? The symbols of units do not have plural form. See 70 meter, we should not write 70 meters, or 10 Newton, 10 N. We should not write like 10 Newtons. We should not write, right? So like punctuation marks are not written after the unit. See that, see 1 liter which is equal to 1000 cc, not 1000 c dot c. Then the meaning will be changed. So the small letters we have to use for the symbols of units, and symbols are not followed by a full stop, like all the rules which we have to write the units, SI units. So we can see some of the common practical units, some examples. So for small distances, Fermi, it is a small practical units of distance which are used for measuring nuclear sizes. It is also called femtometer. So 1 Fermi which is equal to 10 power minus 15 meter. Next one is angstrom. It is used to express a wavelength of light. So 1 angstrom which is equal to 1 A, that degree we have to put for that. That is 1 angstrom, which is equal to 10 power minus 10 meter. Nanometer, which is also for the wavelength, expressing the wavelength of light. So 1 nanometer which is equal to 10 power minus 9 meter. Micron, so it is the unit of distance defined as micrometer. So 1 micron which is equal to 1 nu m, that is equal to 10 power minus 6 meter, right? So now we can see some units are retained for general use. See that minute, these are all the things we know very well. For your convenience, I have given a tabular column: minute, hour, day, year, everything you can see. The year 3.15 into 10 power minus 7 seconds. So the degree which is equal to 10 pi by 180 radian. Like that you can view it, right? Okay. So the next one is measurement of length. So how can we measure the length? So the length, which may be defined as the distance of separation between 2 points in space. See, the order of distances varies from 10 power minus 14 meter to 10 power 25 meter. That is the radius of universe. That much it has the differences in the length. So the distances ranging from 10 power minus 5 meter to 10 power 2 meter can be measured by direct method, which involves comparison of the distance or length to be measured with a chosen standard length. See some examples which they have given. A meter scale or a meter rod which we are using to measure the distances as small that 10 power minus 3 meter, right, we can say for it. And for a vernier caliper can be used to measure as small as 10 power minus 4 meter. A screw gauge which is used to measure 10 power minus 5 meter, and as well as we can use spherometer also, right. These are all the different we are using the devices. Okay, so for very small distances or very large distances we are using indirect methods. So what is indirect methods for measuring large distances? See, with the help of example we can know more and more. See this is one of the triangulation method for the height of an accessible object. See this diagram, height of a tree, for example. See AB, which is equal to height, be the height of the tree or the tower, maybe whatever you can take it, right. See, let C be the point observation at distance X. See the diagram from B. Place a sextant at C and measure the angle of elevation. See, angle AOB, which is equal to theta, from right angle of triangle ABC, we have tan theta which is equal to h by x. Is it right? So our height which is equal to h which is equal to x tan theta, right. So knowing the distance x, the height h can be determined. See, by that way we can, with the help of the triangulation method, this already you people doing in the mathematical. In math we are adopting these things. So this is nothing but a triangulation method for the height of an accessible object. Okay. So how can we measure the large distances? See, the following indirect methods may be used to measure very large distances. Suppose it is too much large. But what is parallax method? First we must know about what is parallax method. Parallax, which is nothing but it's apparent shift in the position of an object with respect to another when we shift our eye sidewise. So the closer the object always appears to move in the direction opposite to that of our eye. See, to understand more about the parallax, you can adopt this example. Hold a pen at a distance S from eye. Some distance you can keep, 15 to 20 centimeter away. So look at the pen first by the left eye L, closing the right eye, and then by right eye R. Okay, closing the eye, left eye. See, the position of the pen appears to change with respect to the background. Have you all seen this? Try it. Now you can try it with your pencil. Yes. This is called parallax. The distance between the 2 points of observation is called basis. In this, right? So which is nothing but parallax. The angle we can call it as parallatic angle. Now with the example we can do this, right? So let us consider a faraway planet P at a distance d from our two eyes, right? Suppose that the lines joining the planet to the left eye and the right eye are subtend an angle theta. The angle theta, which is called parallax angle or parallatic angle, the distance LR, what we say, that is basis, right? As the planet is far away, B by D, which is less than 1, and therefore theta is very small. So theta, which is equal to what we said? Arc by radius. So arc by radius, which is nothing but b by d. Understand, children? Yes. Here d, which is equal to b by theta. With some more examples you can understand more. See, measurement of the size or angular diameter of an astronomical object. For example, we can take it to measure the diameter of the moon or any other planet. With the help of this explanation, you can understand more about a distance, large distances, right? If d is the diameter of the planet and alpha is the angular size of the planet. Now, see the diagram, that is the arc, okay, that radius which we have taken as d, right? If suppose the person which is standing on earth, from that we are measuring the diameter. Now, the angle alpha can be measured from the same location on the earth. So it is the angle between the two directions when two diametrically opposite points of the planet are viewed through the telescope. Since d is known, the diameter, the small d of the planet can be determined from, that is theta, which is equal to what we said, arc by radius, so that small d by capital D. From that we can easily calculate or determine small d, which is equal to alpha into d. That means linear diameter, which is equal to distance into angular diameter. Right? Understand, children? Thank you, students.